Again, my name is Rob Graham. I'm the owner of CarePatrol of Melbourne. Really what my company does is we help families locate independent living, assisted living, memory care, private duty and home care, even skilled nursing care for their loved ones. And there are companies like ours in the county. CarePatrol, for example, is 140 some odd locations throughout 41 states. The most important thing that we have noticed over the years is that there's a lot of misinformation out there as it relates to what's assisted living, am I appropriate for assisted living, what's independent living, can I get care if I'm in independent living? Lots and lots of questions that folks have, and they're, frankly, sometimes they get bad information. So I view my role is to work with families to clear the land, if you will, and make sure that we're all defining what the different pieces and parts of the healthcare industry are so that you can make the best, the most informed decision for either yourself, your husband, your wife, whomever the loved one is. So when we talk about locating the right location here in Brevard County, you may or may not have known that depending upon the day of the week that you ask, there's about 170-ish locations throughout the county. There's also of those locations, about 85% of the total are made up by residential assisted living facilities. And those facilities are typically licensed for 5 or 6 people. The remaining 15% or so of the assisted living and independent living within the county are what we call communities, such as Hibiscus Court. And one of the things that we get families focused on early on is quality of care. Because in our world, it begins and ends with the quality of care. You can go to the newest, shiniest penny assisted living location in any city in the US, and I can guarantee you that there are some of them that their care history is horrible. It's just horrible. They look great, but the care is not what it needs to be. So one of the things that we focus on, and we do this all the time for the benefit of the families as they try to make these tough decisions, is we monitor the state of Florida's inspection results. And we're not ever going to, no one should ever really refer you for your loved one to a place that has a subpar deficiency or violation history. There's a regulatory body in most states that manages or governs, if you will, the whole notion of assisted living, skilled nursing, and so on. So as we work with the families, we understand, are there any care needs involved? If it's someone is just downsizing, they don't want to deal with a house, they don't want to deal with cutting the lawn, they just want to go to an independent living location, then that's different than someone who has stage 4 Alzheimer's, they may be diabetic, insulin dependent, whatever the care needs are. And there's a laundry list. We take the families through what we call a care discovery. And the care discovery gets down to those pieces and parts of the individual, what the needs are from a care point of view. Equally as important, and the families really can help us get centered on what is the best advice for that individual, is to know the personality of the loved one who is looking at going to make a change. Every assisted living location throughout the county, they have their own little different personality. I can't know your mom, I can't know you, I can't know your husband, your wife, whomever, anywhere near as well as you know them. So it's important that should you start this path, going down this path, that you work with a company that can help you isolate, take the 170 down to a few, and then make the right decision. So as much information as you can give us, we can be more helpful to you. And then the process gets narrowed even further, where we will actually send some suggestions, some housing suggestions, again, be it independent living, assisted living, memory care, what have you, to you, and we then take a field trip. We go on tours. We will tour the various suggestions that we have sent to you. Hopefully we got it right the first time. You love it, your loved one loves it, and we can go forward from there. If we didn't get it right, then we just keep looking. The other thing that we can do is help you with understanding where your financial resources that may exist for you out there. Because insurance, unless you have a long-term insurance policy, doesn't cover any of this. So it's generally private pay, but there's money from the Veterans Administration. There may be Medicaid money that's accessible. So we help the families think through the financial side of the equation as well. All right, I've been talking for about 3 hours. So I'll be happy to entertain your questions, I guess, at the end.
Thank you very much.